the Back to Base show. Me and Mama Jajalos to the DJ based at the right now the UK. And today we guys them out there. We appreciate it. The engineers them able to work them out. We dey on Zoom. We get Madam Valnora Edwin. We also get somebody from APA, the Secretary General. We wait for we brother that's Abdul Fatoma. We will join we very soon. But we're live right now, and today we get to open the line for the people call and ask question about the issue that we can discuss right here. We can discuss about the constitutional review. We understand say never taken to Parliament, but we believe say we need for create the awareness to people out there for get the understanding about waiting the inside the constitutional review thing. If we could get for council referendum, and at the same time, waiting come up from the tripartite, how we go factor inside. Whether inside the thing we get for the elections, whether whatever the recommendations that will come from the tripartite. So we get some people that right there we can talk with, and Yusuf can be part of the show later on. We guests then go introduce themselves. Hi guys, Famboleka say again, Yusuf can be part of the show in a short while. You can call me on the number we'll go announce later on. But we'll go to guest them for introduce themselves. We'll get Abdul Fatoma, we'll get Madam Valnora Edwin. We also get Ibrahim Sorie from APA. Hello, guys.
Hello, good evening, listeners, and thanks. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. You name your organization, please. People listen to it on radio.
So, Mina Valnora Edwin, the chairperson of the African Women Leaders Network.
All right. Yes, next.
Hello, good evening. Mina Ibrahim Sorie Sesay. Mina, the National Secretary General for the All Political Party Association.
All right. Yes. Next, Mr. Fatoma.
Mina Abdul Fatoma. Mina, the Chief Executive for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International.
All right. So I'll start with Madam Valnora. We want to plain thank for when I joined the show. We appreciate that because this is very important. Last Monday, I've been getting Mr. Fatoma and Dr. Sandy and other people. Well, Madam Valnora, just take me back a little bit because listen to the Anthony General. They say you have been one of the people and we've been doing inside the committee or group of people who will be looking inside the constitutional review thing. And we know say you don't that work they done from long to former President Nkrumah in time to President Bio in time. Now they say next week they'll carry down they're gonna Parliament and also before council tripartite. We just take it back inside the constitutional review. What's not been the need for the constitutional review? What's in the review? Some of the things, and then we can take them from there, man.
Okay, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
I think it's been a long journey, and I don't be opportune for participate in Peter Stoker constitutional review process,
Yeah.
and they said not being reached any side. Well, it reached a certain point and then it was stopped. And then I've been there at Justice Kawan Iun as well. And Justice Kawan in Constitutional Review Committee comprised various walks of life, political parties, even me colleague within Ibrahim Sorie Sesay, they are go know him because they represent in political party day. You had women's group from the judiciary, from all walks of life, various groups, journalists, all people in the day. And we looked at the constitution in its entirety. One of the most important things the way the Justice Kawan Commission do, you look at those things that will not be even be captured in the constitution at that time. When you look at land issue, the environment, we didn't have thing about youth, we didn't have anything about for elderly, for children, even mention of them, they not be even did it. We looked at having a national commission for development, waiting for the development agenda for Sierra Leone. And then we're also having discussions around how for sort of limit the powers of the presidency for make institutions then be a bit more independent, getting tenure of officers for people that like the Inspector General of Police, like the ACC Commissioner, and a couple of others, so that they can show that more of professionalism in their work rather than trying for please an individual or group of people. So it was very, very comprehensive. and me the Human Rights Committee, where we look at the entire human rights chapter. So more or less that's the sort of role. Coming to this one now, what we don't play is going around the country. One, obviously engaging and pushing as to waiting for what will they do now with the Justice Cowan report, the white paper, who stand the process will reach a point where we will get a referendum and get a constitution. Because we're not go there 20 years with a bill constitution. Each one we can they add yes, it's a process, but by now the process, so that has been one of my key advocacy points over the years for this government, that we need for conclude this year and not to annual for do them in a manner where any in the next 10 years or 15 years will not for.
You found them mute, they mute.
Sorry. One for make sure we push for make sure say the government conclude the process, and for make sure say if there's any additional thing we need for day in the constitution, taking, because at that time we didn't talk about climate change. Now climate change is a very key thing. So if there's any new thing we need to say should be. And then the role I also played was when one of the recommendations of the tripartite was to look at what sort of electoral system therefore they, and it had to be consultative. So I was one of the consultants there where we all go around the country for get people in perspective. One, the understanding of the various types of electoral system the way exist in the world globally, what we don't use as a country, and waiting them feel safe from the little time we get to explain to them, waiting them feel they can be a best one for salute.
All right, Madam Valnora, I want to get a time frame on to make this constitution, because like you mentioned, from Dr. Peter Tucker come to the late Cowan, now it's when I get a time frame, say within this time to this time, this could happen, because so many things that they come up, like you mentioned, climate change and more things will ever come up. But when I get a time frame, say within this time to this time, therefore don't get a referendum for looking to then say for coming to effect.
So what had happened then was, if I recall correctly, that committee then was supposed to meet for about 2 years or so, but then we had Ebola, it disrupted a bit, but then we continued. So that disruption, they make it stretch a little longer. But what normally obtains, when you don't get that, you're able to go around, consult the people, that's the normal process. It's going to be handed over to the government, then go sit down and look them, and obviously not to something then go take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years for do. So let's say at least within a year, a government for not able to forget the Attorney General for sit down in team, then look them, then draft the bill, and then the government the plan. Because the moment you start the constitutional, you set up a committee for look at the constitution. What the end product for you is to have a referendum. So it was a given that at least within that 10 days we hand over, I think it was in 2016 to 2017, at least we were able to forget a referendum, even though the election was so close. But I mean, for that reach a point where if that government, because governance is continuous, if they not be able to do the referendum, then at least the white paper would have accepted most of the recommendations. Where this government now, all they go get for do now, for can hold referendum. But we didn't have like a clear time frame. But then, even when we done them, it was handed over. The process just stalled because they did not recognize or accept, I would say maybe 90 or 95% of what was in the recommendation.
Okay, why make it stall? Why make you think say it's stall and not accept the 90 or 95%?
Well, that's the $1 million question where probably it's only them that could respond to, because it was highly consultative. APC then was represented, SLPP was represented, and other political parties was represented. Donor funds were given. We spent a lot of time on that, a lot of energy, a lot of research was done. And like I said, new chapters, even the issue of citizenship, women's rights issues, youth. Because if you look at the 1991 Constitution, there's nothing about youth, about children, about the elderly, about the environment and all of that. It's not there. A lot of research was done. International people then send write-up, giving recommendation and supporting the process. So it was very, very strange and did not shift forward.
All right. You mentioned one thing before I come to Fatoma, the electoral system, which can electoral system wanna be profile at that time? Because now the area about the PR recently nine, we go through this last elections. Sometime we also APC said talk about first past the post before now. So which one have been profiled inside the review?
So in the Justice Kawan or in this consultation where we do?
Well, all together, because I know them all then get for Kerguna Parliament or then get for separator.
Also, the Justice Kawan now recall that we had any issue with the sort of electoral system.
Okay.
I think one of the key things was like having a date for fixed dates for election, USNF announced results, you know, independence of the Electoral Commission was some of the key things. In this consultation, one, we do some, because we also had an international, it was 3 of us, 2 Sierra Leoneans and 1 international, me and Joe Peppabi. And what we did was we had presentations where educate people, and firstly on the types of electoral system where exist in the world, where the 2 main ones now PR and first past the post is very common all over the world. And we gave examples of countries there where they use them, and most countries can do a mixture of them. And we educate them, and people gave their views. And at the end of it all, there was not a 100% we go say, oh, we na first past the post, or 100% where they say, oh, we na PR.
Okay.
It was like a mixed thing. And for most people, even the one that we say, let's do a PR, PR get different computation. There are different ways you do your PR system. And most people, like you say, but we want a PR where they get like an open list. When we the people then still they pick, we MP them. So at least we get to know them. So now they MPR they represent me. So it was sort of a mixed proposal as to what sort of electoral system we can have.
Okay. So in other words, these documents don't delay as according to what you say. If we don't come get a referendum long time for dealing with the issues there.
No, definitely. And I think it's rather unfortunate that it's good that we are having a discussion, because we don't go maybe a step closer to it will be the see, though there are some challenges there. But it's really a pity that at that time, especially with all the resources, the time and energy, where people then put into them processes and some of we, like I said, my colleague Ibrahim, who all been in the same committee, we were going to sessions, we not ask for sitting fee. We they go, we they sit down, we they deliberate, we go there hours, we go there 10 and net. So with all that time and energy for you know, it was just cast aside like that. It was really challenging for the country at that point in time. And then all that money they don't waste, they will get for sort of go almost all over again with the same thing, just because, I mean, only God knows why.
All right. I'll come to Brother Ibrahim. You hear Madam Val say that they want to go meet up. Ona they represent political parties, APA. You can just tell me about maybe the process and I'll go through the questions again. How this whole thing come about and what's being APA in your role. If not all political parties being they part of it, or new parties and non-Kawe not being part of it.
Yeah, Mr. Bass, just like waiting, Madam Val be say.
Yeah.
And this time journey where we don't start way back from from Peter Tucker.
Yeah.
But fast forward to 2013 when we set up the 80 member way Madam Val be don't see.
Yeah.
We beget all political parties at that time when I be registered political parties where they be part of that committee, including the APC and the SLPP. So we all be the part of the committee, and as we say, we put a lot of energy, sacrifice. In fact, even in the time of Ebola, we go around do consultation, because the mandate given to the committee member for make sure say we able for broader consultation from the people, and also from expert opinion, and look at other best practice international information. We're able for at least propose and usher in a new constitution.
Okay.
That one happened, and the past administration going at the APC government, and at that time, then the SLP come in and then put out a white paper. As you say, most of the things then then in the white paper they look at things, and because in the consultation at that time and in review, we make sure other issues then they will therefore look at the environment and look at issue of human rights, and so citizenship, all things will be factor as recommendation. For take way back, to present day, because currently now we don't see there is a bill now, before Parliament for a constitutional amendment where they speak towards certain things pertaining to electoral reforms.
Okay.
And the issue. So waiting bring me to that one, because you find out, say, if you look at some of the recommendation we did in the bill, some of speak with in the agreement for national unity just after the 2020 elections. We all are aware that the main opposition be put out a strong resistance and say they're no go into governance, they're not going to cooperate and all that. Yeah, that will bring the agreement for national unity. And in the agreement, it becomes a piece of resolution where then we take from we able to get peace and then move the country back and put on to side. So part of that one day we get a resolution with a recommendation where we talk about the agreement for national unity. We want to bring in political parties and to establish an IPDC, that are the Inter-Party Dialogue Committee, where that committee day resolution 5 for the SPI and the PPRC, of which we don't get that one day going on for make sure say most of the issues there of national interest of concern where political parties and the share will make sure say we able for dialogue and then come up with recommendations for make sure say we all speak as one and as a nation. So that one we done there, and that engagement we don't get various stakeholders, including the Attorney General, for it, because we don't identify and develop operational work plan, and then we plan for all of the activities there we get for deal with and the operations of the IPDC, because we get all parties into it, and then on a 3-month basis, each political party they take in your own time, in your own turn, to chair that committee. Currently, we get the NDA when then they chair the committee. Before, now be the PMDC. So we try to put out the program then for look at all the issues and pertaining to these electoral reforms and other things the whole one foresee. So that one they don't fast forward for what we look at them. And in that meeting day, we also look at issues that we get for, as I say, we all agree, we all are aware that the 2023 elections, yes, there are issues like any other elections.
They say we, who are them? We say we, who are them?
I'm talking about political parties.
Okay.
Yeah, political parties. Yes, political parties. So political parties are aware, say, yes, every election here, we are facing challenges them, but with the CRBS we come in together for make sure so we address some of them challenges and they will face. Before then, waiting beyond the apple, we get observe admission. After when they observe elections, then later they prove a recommendation and then they give their reports to the ECSL. So at the ECSL we get the PPLC, that the political party liaison committee. So that they will meet, we look at some of the recommendations and see how best we for improve on future elections, so that some of the challenges that we face, we're able to address them. So the next election, we not go tangle ourselves into some of them things and they. But now, as they say, the approach a bit changed because of this agreement for national unity. We can get the tripartite, we can get 80 some recommendations. With some of them recommendations now.
I'm sorry. What do you think? You know, think that this tripartite can mix up all the things will be don't come out from the constitutional review, because issues that don't kind of come out from the tripartite will be factored into some of the issues we get for the elections and the constitutional review.
Yeah, exactly, because the tripartite, if you look at the tripartite, some of the recommendation when they recommend, some have to do with constitutional reform, and in the constitutional review, that some of the things that one in the way the Justice Kawan committee be all look at. Like for instance, we are talking about fixed dates for election. These are the recommendation where yes, the committee said they agree, say yes, indeed we need to get a fixed date for election for make sure say no more on the prerogative of His Excellency the President for able for determine the dates for election. That one they say even the tripartite then we look at them. But as we see, other political parties with the out of the agreements for national unity, because currently get 17 registered political parties. We only get the APC and also the SLPP led government for going into the agreement. That no means say other parties cannot get concerned national.
So you think someone exclude other parties then, because from 17 political parties, you just get 2 parties with independent people, whether not international or from West Africa, we come, we make decisions for other political parties, we can be factored into things we ever do the whole country.
Yeah, well, these are the points we don't put out. But for the other political parties, there we our approach towards that one day that be of dialogue. We not just come out and begin to create noise or
so
shout.
That's one say, Ibrahim Sorie, why would I not say, look, get other political parties, and because this government political parties and Sierra Leone as a whole, they will themselves be part of this national unity agreement we come up from the tripartite, so that tell like APC and SLP, because from the look of things, it seems as if APC then go for their own interest, while SLP will defect for them, while other political parties are not involved.
Well, that's the challenge you get. The foundation, the basis for the establishment of the tripartite also again cannot be taken into consideration. Say because of the APC raise concern, then go into the agreement and get the international community. But waiting the other parties then do. In the discussion, whenever they get the meeting, we say, okay, we will be part of this. We profile we own recommendation. We want for up to our one for see our best way for enhance. On the level of integrity for preserve we electoral systems and processes feature one. So what do we do? We approach them and send we own recommendation. They tell when the committee then they look at them, then all of them see them pull out 80 recommendations. So political parties have left that way. So what we say do? We say, okay, look at all those 80 proposed recommendations for enhancing electoral reform and constitutional reform. We say, well, now we say for watch out. So we say, what we do? We organize a national dialogue. We move across the region and bring in all the political parties, the leadership at various levels.
Including APC included, because then say they're not being included, they're not even part of APA. So were they included?
No, that is when I make a say where they talk about the other parties, that are the party that we left out of the agreements for national unity.
How many of them? How many?
15 of them. But one injunction for so we get 14 of them.
Excluding the main opposition party.
The APC and the SLPP, because they are part of the agreements for national unity. So we will not be the part of. We go look at them. And then each recommendation, we speak to some of their recommendations in there. We look at and say, yes, some recommendation we feel say a good understanding for make sure we able to get we electoral systems and processes then right. But the one that will find out challenges into some of their recommendations in there, we also offer another recommendation for make sure we're able for preserve the integrity of the electoral system and processes.
All right.
So one of the recommendations, because we look at like what we don't see on the now this amendments bill, we look at recommendation 70, will be the proposed for say for the registered political parties, we go contest elections and they fail for win seats, both parliament and council for the registered them. There is a proposal for amend section 35. So we all right. In fact, we try to engage the AG and write them and say, okay, this is our position paper. We give for all institutions we get for deal with the reform based on the tripartite and recommendations. PSL and the security sector and so on. We give it all. We position. Let them understand. Say this is our position. So we look at and say, in as much as we are talking about how do we promote political pluralism and able for strength multi-party democracy, we see and say that recommendation they get the tendency for close the political space. And if you look at the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the 1991 Constitution, Section 35, subsection 1 clearly states the role of political parties, why they are established. It's for shape the policy, disseminate information, economic social program of national character. Then the last part we say for manage candidature process and sponsor for parliament and local council residential. So we see that one they get the tendency for create problem. If we look at a country road on day, You say for create that kind of thing there, and then political parties they will not contest, because we don't see them all over the world, except one for find again political parties. We get some parties then they're not just they come in for win election, because over time people understand and some they will practice.
The factor that recommendation they want to make for say no, they're not for the registered political parties if they know win 2 terms, then put her inside, because now they're gonna parliament, then put her, that means they're not even listening to what you wanna say.
Yes, that one is inside. That one is inside the proposal. It is inside the proposal for amend section 35. For include a provision say if a political party then fail for win election and for the register them, they also make a provision for make an amendment to the legislation when the PPRC, the political party act for amendment for say yes, if parties then fail for win seats for 2 consecutive elections, they should be deregistered. So all what we would say, we really want to make sure say that we understand here political parties they're not just the number for win election. We will get parties we say some believe in promoting issues of environment, as they say, on health, on education.
So in other words, they come up from the agreement so they're going to make a money between APC and SLPP, and then bring down the okay. Yeah. So again, one thing again, Ibrahim Sorie, why would I not be recommending say no get civil society, maybe the media, it's a religious council, also part of this agreement, so it could be like a nationwide thing than only then 2 parties, and then maybe una with the other political parties here.
Well, that I make I just talk. See the foundation only the basis. Now you get challenged. Now you not be correct.
And now
we are talking about election. We are talking about reforms. So if you want to do this, you get for say you get a broad base. For make sure you get all players involved and make sure so that and see how they can. Because in the end, we won't forget laws for stand the test of time. No, not just get we go APC will get their own interest, SFP get their own interest, everybody will say. So at the end of the day, we will get our own back. But we get everybody on board. You understand? Just like what Madam Valnora will say, when we the Constitutional Review Committee, we get everybody involved into that. Go and consult people. At the end of the day, a lot of energy we put inside it, but in the end, we not see any South land.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibrahim Sorie. Family, they listen to the Back to Base show. Me and Mama Jalo Suli DJ Base. We get Madam Valnora online. We also get Abdul Fatoma, our brother who just talked now. Ibrahim Sorie, the Secretary General of APA. We talk about the constitutional review, the things that are inside, and also the tripartite wake of plates between APC and SLPP. Get a lot of stumbling block, and the plan for carry that bill they go to Parliament for whether pass into law for Luca. I'll come Abdul. You don't listen to Madam Valnora. You said now somebody where recently they say now part of the inside the tripartite. They oversee part of civil society. What do you take? Because now I go back to because one of the issues, so many of the issues that don't come up now. You have to do the search committee where I listen to. I think the APC person who have been a negotiator. He say according to within them, we understand within them, we agreeing at the search committee now for make sure say heads of maybe organizations, whether a bar association nominate somebody later, give to the president, then the president. But now it seems as if the president will get a pick from then different side and the. What can I take from the National Unity Agreement or the tripartite and the constitutional review issues them where the plan now for pass the parliament for become law? What do you think about all these issues, Abdul?
I be lost you first, but I think I don't able to forget you now. I get you last word.
Yeah.
They try for tell me what we take on the current bill with it before Parliament. We're opposition. They come out very soon this night as an organization, but I will share some of the provisions where we get inside we policy brief. We sad and we not happy about the provisions the way they inside the current bill. Some of them they're not totally good for with democracy, and they're not good for the future of this country governance system. I listened keenly to Madam Valnora and also Ibrahim Sorie, and the thing is that we need for they get some record very, very straight in a very straight and sincere manner. I mean, they know, but so many people they misunderstand this thing. One thing we for know, now one political party that go into an agreement with the government of Sierra Leone out of 17 political parties. When you say the government of Sierra Leone, for me born at this country, I don't want to see the government of Sierra Leone in a ballot paper. But political parties now in the win election and also take over the governance of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and with that then they run the governance of this country with other political parties. Because parties that will go to the parliament, they form part of, then they work and receive money under the government of Sierra Leone, not under APC, not under SLPP, not under NGC. So the fundamental blunder will be happening with the agreement for national unity. One party choose himself or enter into a negotiation with government of Sierra Leone, way not to establish political party. So then they left out their colleagues. We don't raise that at several platforms. And when you get down there, a kiosk there, the government want for legitimize their own process. That say the party where they form a government win an election. So because the party win an election and the party will be the second runners up based on the result, they then dissatisfied, they don't believe say the party will don't form this very government within they engage with, win the election. So the government in the try for accept anything from this one party, apart from the 17 party we recognize in this country, about legitimacy. So then they also bring their own ideas, the way they think say that it may be their loss. So it was more about one party side and what the government they try for legitimize their own process. So with that, there are several things the way they give in from the national unity agreement stage, and then they establish the tripartite. And now we get the tripartite recommendations. So when you listen keenly, the party, the APC party, and that of the government of Sierra Leone staff them, either from minister to the chief minister or any other government of Sierra Leone staff, they talk about this tripartite. And the All People's Congress members there, you waiting more in the area of late, now a blame game. You see the government of Sierra Leone, they say, we know they in support of the registration of political parties and the APC recommendation. APC, they say, what will be due now, not to put, when turn upside down. And then you also comes to the other side, APC, they say, some of the things that we agreed on, when I don't go change them. And then the government, they try for tell we say, well, when we receive recommendation, we therefore modify them to we own way and to we own style, how it fit, how for run with government. So we get this whole disagreement between the very people that we go. And then the sad thing is that, DJ Base, when they go on the agreement for national unity, let me get a roadmap as to how the implementation of the 80 plus recommendations therefore go. Then along the transition, not the government of Sierra Leone, not the APC, able to tell with the actual location of that roadmap, where they for use. And not even, the counterpart political parties, they not be briefed for including the process. And up till to this stage, until some of we don't interject the government or the APC, but let them stop for they say when the government and the APC go into agreement, therefore try to ensure say they bring an inclusion. And failing to do that inclusion, not recognizing other political parties, you see clearly it manifests into this very draft bill. Then they try for say parties that we know win from 1996 when we return back to multi-party elections. How many parties don't win election apart from APC and SLPP will not occupy presidential seats
Yeah.
in this country. So then deliberately and clearly know say these two parties get a bigger brand, a bigger recognition than any other margin party where they come up for a specific or particular interest. Some
Yeah.
political party they will go come in, they just want to look at, labor issues. How many young men, how many women go they into job? Some other party they care about peace and reconciliation issues. Some other political party they just care about human rights issues or environmental issues.
Yeah.
You go England, the Green Party they don't win, prime ministership yet, but then they win councillor seat, then they win MPC, but their own interest and general focus is on promoting climate change and environmental issues.
Yeah.
So Nadane made them the broader the party space. But now if we get a law, we're so dangerous to a point, it kill the true spirit of multi-party democratic practice.
Yeah.
Now thing where we all for rise up as a country, no matter how we not been a part of the agreement for national unity, or we not there inside the tripartite recommendation, implementation committee, we as a country, we need for really stand up and reject this very move. And then the other side, you see, the other law being the way clearly they move towards how then they disarm the president for make appointment for the chief electoral commissioner and the commissioners.
Yeah.
But then you see, say, they're not come with much clarity. And then come with again a particular committee where not they speak towards the inclusion where the agreement for national unity talked about. What did it talked about? It talked about we for include everybody. And then now we form a committee, persons with disability not did it. But then we get youth did it. We get 3 women wait for candy. Then they get interreligious council. They say no. Now the religious community. So meaning it left to the president or whosoever the not who they appoint for anybody from the world religious community. Like we say Fuller community, Lebanese community, Mende community.
Yeah.
It's cut across. But when we get the interreligious council, now a structured organization, we get a board, we get a president. If we send letter to them for let them nominate, then they're able to meet at the level and nominate.
All right.
So then we use for them Sierra Leone Bar Association, where the constitution recognized and other acts were recognized. If you need lawyer and you want from Sierra Leone Bar Association, government or whichever institution, they write a formal letter and request to the Sierra Leone Bar Association, say, would nominate somebody, either man or woman, one man, one woman. But in this case, then just a legal practitioner. In a country that we already don't get lawyers up to 2 to 3 or 4,000, right? And then you will just pick anybody. We don't even set a criteria. We do all of them thing, but we don't even think about say the persons with disability. Let's say get a greater role for play if we don't take other groups there. But then look at only 2 groups and maintain their name and then not change anything in them. The Labour Congress and the Employer Federation.
Yeah.
So we need more explanation why Labour Congress, then they remain with them, Employer Federation, they remain with them, but SLAG, they only say media practitioner, but they cannot go to SLAG, but let SLAG nominate over the years and now, from the way at the talk show, SLAG, they nominate people then at IMC. Civil society, they nominate people there, the SLBC board.
Yeah.
The bar association, they nominate lawyer na the SLBC board. So we get down and they across. But when it comes to this specific one, DJ Base, it's so calculated and deliberate that, they exclude people them, outside of it for level cap. So from we organization point of view, we see some of these actions there as a very dangerous move. We go undermine a true spirit of democracy, and we also pose a chance of, manipulation into electoral practice. So with that, we call on the government, and it's a part of the recommendation, for totally discontinue such a practice. It's sad that, next week, the thing they go before Parliament. Already they Parliament they start for talk about that. Where you get the low level public education. You get a low level public education. Most people that even when they read and write don't get any knowledge. When you talk about this to some people, they say, what do you they talk about so?
Correct.
So past sometimes you send a video clip to about the minister or somebody from the opposition, then they listen, oh, I don't know, but then they forward the document to me. These are educated people that even will interact with. What about we young common people then, whether we get the chance or get the education where some of we get, whether on this program or when they listen this program.
Okay. Quickly, before I come to Madam, other issue about with the 55% and the 50 plus. So now you take, and also, are we ready for referendum now? The money day, the awareness day, and charity.
DJ Base, I've been on telling you on several programs and I don't talk about. We as a country, we never prepare for going to a referendum, on this very issue, even before 2023 and after 2023. You're not going to see any sense, any interest, any appetite from the government. A country is the way one for going to a referendum, the preparation is a highly day. Last year, around September, I've been there Guinea for go through the referendum process. We've been go on Guinea. Even see before that, the hype will be there. But let them go into the election December.
Yeah.
And then we not demonstrate any interest, we not demonstrate any appetite, towards that very issue at DJ Base. When you look again, since 1996, we don't start constitutional review process of the Leone Peace Accord process. And then inside 2007, the Tatoka Committee came up and it folded up in 2008. And in 2013, you get at the Stroma set up a 18-man committee. We work towards 2013 to 2017 to 2018. And Valnora already tell you the challenges, then the Ebola. And then you get the BO-led government coming and reopen the process again, that then form even a committee where a lot of right activist organizations began the problem about the shumu aspect of it. And then come up and say, let me just do expert work in order to see where we need a broader committee. And later on, we will see it and say, then they come out with white paper in 2021. Yeah. And since 2021 to date, we are still in this process under this administration. But when you look at that 20 good years, and when you look at the 1991 Constitution, that from 1990 to 1991, imagine 1 year, 6 month process. Yeah. Then we be taken for move from 1978 Constitution to 1991 Constitution, we gain effect for operate in 1992. So when you look at all of that, and we don't spend, we did now in democracy, no one party, but we don't spend 20 good years in a process with some country then are 18 months, then they take. And when you come to that figures there, where then they try for the whole process, now you get census where we don't know when then they start and when then they complete. We don't get a clear timeline as a country. And census come as an important tool for determining, the preparation and the outcome of election. If we want for really do first past the poll, we therefore ensure that we get the right number, that the ward, that the constituency. So we be able to get the right, number of people then when we MPs them, when we councillors them, then they go represent any government body. But as we stand, we're in a conflict with the 2015 census, we're in conflict with the 2021 or 2022 census, a midterm census. So we get in and day. Now that will be used again for do the 2023 election, will become contestable. We force you for going to agreement for national unity. Yeah. And again, we know they see any sense of getting a reliable and credible census for 2028. So, meaning, are we coming back to the same thing? Are we prepared again for another agreement for national unity or whatever thing?
Yeah.
So we as a country, we need to rally round and come forward and hold the government accountable, but let them provide for we a credible and reliable institutions that we will manage, elections for we, so we will able to get a better pathway for development of this country.
Maybe in just 1 minute quickly. Next week then go vote on this. We don't listen to APC and SLPP no more than at the parliament, and we don't subside them votes. I mean bills. I mean seen them pass. Take for example the Lara Taylor Pierce stuff, the Auditor General. We expect any difference, or maybe they'll come back say okay because people or organization and don't raise issue, they'll come back or then pass it into law.
If they do otherwise, they not listen, we cry. I'm not gonna be surprised because it's not new.
Okay.
But then we as a people now we put in our power, we get a power also for stop this process. We get a power for tell and say within the way not good for we, and we the thing that we so just say good for we, then get the responsibility and the obligation for listening to we and bring them in and they forward for we interest and everybody interest in this country.
All right. Madam Valnora, quickly, you don't listen to all the other people. Them now, the tripartite don't come in from what will be sitting and looking to and the Fatoma Sorie over 20 years now. So many issues. The search committee, the 50% plus, the kind of election, so many other things. What now you take on the issues here? And next week you go in a parliament. Well, as they say, they already did next week. Then go vote for make it come into law. What's the expect? Don't hear APC, they say, well, if not to waiting then say, not to in then don't draw a line and listen to one of the chief negotiator. We say they're not going to take time and all that kind of stuff. What do you take and what you foresee?
I think we get a bit of a challenge because waiting women the envisage was all this process we explain from Peter Tucker in them to now.
Yeah.
That we forget a bill we will show the entire constitution.
Mm-hmm.
But the appear like say the tripartite issue overtake that one day. It is important because for peace and national cohesion, we know say elections na one trigger. It they show the fragility where we get. An election is not just about the election.
Exactly.
It tests all governance architecture. It tests the independence of the judiciary, the security sector, how informed the populace be, how effective state institutions then be. So election is not just about the ballot paper, it tests the governance system. So as important as it is, we see like it don't overtake them because if you really watch waiting then at the bill, it just cover those issues that were discussed at the tripartite and some one or two things away similar to waiting in then at the Justice Cowan report. All the other aspects them of the entire constitution not daily. And that is worrying. Because as we don't explain, this process don't take a while. A white paper had been issued. Why would not we don't work on this process already? In fact, we don't go far even before 2023. But now it just like now this aspect no more then take out. So there's a concern there, and we want really take the opportunity now for call say let's have the entire draft bill of the constitution. It's
Okay.
very important because when you they look at this thing, it just say in isolation. You don't extract commodity. It's fine for let you read all things, then you get the true meaning of waiting them provision they are so really they say. Because the constitution speaks to the vision, the value of a country, of the people.
Yeah.
But when you just extract few provisions and put them, they make you get a sense of really what is this saying. Irreflective of the aspirations, irreflective of the vision as a people. So we need that entire draft the constitution for let it go through. In terms of waiting then at the bill,
Yeah.
I think so they expect more than some of the provision the way we see. Yes, then put the issue like we mentioned, it then at the Justice Cowan report around the date for the election.
Yeah.
But then we in the one that say there were proposals for I think March and May and sometime around that. Why did we go to November? What's the justification of that? Because if it's something we've already discussed, consultations have been held, it has been agreed, why was it changed? And that's the concern. Why are some of these issues changed?
Yeah.
We see the search and nomination committee, for example, and one of the discussion, it's about the powers of a president we enshrine in the constitution. And each government over time, you they see if they get worse, we they see lack of professionalism, lack of effectiveness and efficiency of state institutions, because it becomes more of pleasing one person or a group of people rather than serving the people. So we work for reducer. Now you say, and the recommendation in the tripartite was, they don't list, like how Fatoma mentioned, they say from the Sierra Bar Association, from Interreligious Council, from Labour Congress, then go select who that they want for go put there. But when you left her open, so it's just anybody, now they go pick. So they might not even have the competence. Yes, they can there come out from a legal practitioner already, but really not competent enough for them at that position. They so some people they let compromise themselves. So when they're not going for deliver. So that provision in itself not even take away the powers of the presidency. It's one of the things the way the constitution therefore speaks to. Not to all in the presidency and or the presidency and get for day. You don't allow institutions and for function. So some of them think they are then we look at even the provision for women. You just say women organization. There are several women's organizations headed by men.
Exactly.
There's women's organization where the man there where maybe as program staff or what they are more even more vocal than the women who are there. So why do you say women from women organization, or you can also make a provision say within all of this at least 30 or 40% for be women. So even the bar association or the neighbor congress or the interreligious council the same, they can send women. So we don't get it deal now, but it has a lot of challenge. It's going to be discussed on Monday, but we want for the members of parliament they give time, and like some of we the advocates will also say, let us find a way we will be able, and that's why they have to give us time. Let's organize town hall so we can call members of parliament. One, let themselves understand within this process. So not when they all learn the followers, let them get a better understanding and let them able to present to them within us on the issues that we want. Like today, some of we women's group, as I say, they represent African Women Leaders Network that focuses on women's rights issues. Be vice president of the 50-50 group, and we call other like a few organizations from technical brainstorming. And we want to see how we can engage the parliamentarians like the female caucus, the gender committee, the legislative committee, and we hear for she campaigners who are in parliament. How you don't see some of them provision there, because I mean all the provisions are relevant to women's political engagement. But we also because that we want to see the entire document, because now you say minimum 30% representation, but there is a clause in the constitution where say because of tradition and custom,
women are not
for this and that. So what have you done with that provision? We don't know.
Exactly.
So it might have been in the white paper, but we want to see what you don't write. Would they see? We need to see gender neutral language. There's some side where they will say persons, which is good, but then you get sometimes we say chairman. So these are some of the things where they look say we know they rush into this thing, and the government really don't get enough time for let it focus on this thing, for let we get a good job and a good document. So even though we're happy that now we are having this discussion, we are still very, very concerned that the sort of quality, the content we will be one seeing this process is not truly reflected in this field.
All right. So finally, before we wrap up, Madam Valnora, you don't see this whole bill thing. So you said we will say now this day or na available to the public.
Well, it's supposed I have a soft copy of it. It was stated that it will be gazetted, which means we can access it at the bookshop. But then today, at the group where some people in the complaint say we don't go to the bookshop and we not get them. So it's very concerning, and that is why again the government don't need for us. You don't forgive it time. This thing is for us. It's not for a government. It's not for a political party. It's for the people of Sierra Leone. And as I mentioned earlier, we want this documents we go stand the test of time for the next 30, 40 years. We're not for the member for review a constitution. Also, you just begin review constitution. So you go for we because it's for us, not for you. It's for all of us. And you remember, say that's the way you see, you're not going for the day forever. You say that for people like me. So you have to make sure the provision speaks to all context of the human life within Sierra Leone or Sierra Leoneans and not rush the process.
All right. You want a message to parliamentarians then, because this, then get their interest and say what you made and get them plan and then go, they wait for you next week. What will be message to them?
My message to the members of parliament, we know you went there through your political parties, but the political parties are there to seek the interest of the people. And you are there for representatives. So we want to appeal to una say, una give some opportunities for let we present position papers, all sessions there where una self able for understand and able for make sure that this document is a solid one. One of the concern again is that there are entrenched clauses in this bill. So we don't know yet how they want to go pass them. Because you have to hold the referendum for let you pass the entrenched clauses. So these are some of the things where we need a discussion around. So we just want for appeal to the MP say give the people the opportunity for engage una say be better informed and make sure say it's not taken on a partisan level, but when they think national, so that together we all can pass a constitution or a bill we go speak to the needs and aspirations of the people of Sierra Leone.
All right. Ibrahim Sorie, what you go and say and wrap up. Hopefully Monday we'll get to talk about this back. So Ibrahim Sorie, what will be you? What from all to don't say any message to members of parliament?
Yeah, to the members of parliament, just like what Madam Pauli say, I think we really need to get more additional time, because as we speak to the issues then currently the bill not address most of the things, and because if one forgets a constitution we will stand the test of time, we get to speak to various issues. But as we see now, just get limited things that we get for this related more. That is the focus for this bill. And one thing again I want to make measure for Larapo, now this proposal they propose for getting the church committee for the appointment of the chair of the and commissioners, and also that of PPR, where this current bill they propose for amend section 32(2) and section 34 of the 1991 constitution, where clearly states the committee, a research committee, from the political party point of view, waiting will be done to understand and observe over the years where challenges they will be facing. The constitution clearly states say His Excellency the President, section 32 to say 3 say if for do appointment of the Chief Electoral Commissioner and also other commissioners after consultation with the leadership of registered political parties. Correct. Our emphasis here, what we will talk about, because establishing all those church committee, we're so vague, you just get people and for just come out there at the end of the day, you don't get specific direction towards that one day. And even political parties, we now integral parts in terms of talk about elections, they're not even the part for consult them. So how you create that kind of fairness? So that is a concern. So waiting our major concern, we look at and say the issue of consultation. Now we always be on the problem with. We really need for defined consultation. What is consultation? Then also we will forget, a consultation policy framework. We will able for guide His Excellency the President and also political parties as to how we forgo about, because that one they always don't be the challenge. We find out say most times over the years from past administration, challenges don't they face. I think we say okay, no, the way we say this information is not consultation. So we say we'll get that one day. And we also further, even in the proposal where we don't present to the age, we say we want to also get a national consultation policy. Not only we therefore talk about the appointments of the chair of ECSL and also and PPRC, but also the independent institution. If we have a policy that will define and guide the process, let's say for Human Rights Commission, head of the police, so all that one, because these are key institutions.
Right.
So now that makes they really need for listening to the other parties, and because we they look at them from an other angle, other lens, for make sure say one forgets you understand this thing right, and not able forget a law we go able to stand the test of time. Because if we move this process here, at the end of the day, we all go face with the problem, and in the end, we all go be losers.
Thank you.
That is why the storyline was here. We really need to get more time and make sure we digest on those issues and then see how best we speak to the issue, so that we will forget a constitution where everybody will accept and we'll all go apply for.
Thank you. Fatoma, you final word and say goodbye for today. Like I say, we don't stop. This will continue again on Monday. We want to still get lay people and get the knowledge about it. You final word to members of parliament, Salon people, and what you want left with family. A wise word.
From the organization, we go suggest to the members of parliament, both from the APC, SFPP, and the paramount chiefs, the way they represent in different districts in parliament, or put a pause. I join me 2 colleagues on this panel, or put a pause on the process until we intensify more public education and we scrutinize this process, because within 20 years, what we don't decide for do and go lay before parliament, that a piecemeal approach. We only choose everything where they deal with elections directly, not a thing where they deal with, your fundamental freedom, your right to assembly, the land issues, land dispute issues that will be talked about, or we talked about other, social economic rights issues. And these are only political issues. How for participate in election, how for do election. That is quite important. But then if we take, just because they say they are the vulnerable at the constitution, you say they are not entrenched clauses, we're not required referendum. Meaning they actually tell we say you can hit win at the low side of the weakness and get away with it. So now that make we urge members of parliament from all categories, either from political party or non-political party, for put a pause to this process until we get adequate public education and we contribute to the process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fambul. That's it for today. I know we'll stop the show, but I'll open the line ready for get people in views, but will happen Monday. Continue to follow AYV on all social media platforms out there. Me and Mama Jalos to the DJ base. We'll continue to talk about this issue. We understand, say, the bill already, the parliament, members of parliament will look into it, whether they go vote. Hope so they go listen to the people. I mean, one of the things that I think they're supposed to do as members of parliament, representing them people, and go back to them people, ask them whether they get an understanding about some of the things that they want pass into law, because they get the right to represent the people, but again, with the PR, with the suicide, a lot of people they complain about, they don't even get representation at their own area. I listen to one members of parliament talk about from Calabar Town to up to Brookfields, people be represented there. It's an honorable, which is to some extent it's an issue. You get to do the PR, the search committee, whether they get for pick for big commissioner, or whether the president get for pick the name and the cover down the area about whether they change the name or the positions are very important. The date for elections. Let everybody be involved, because these get for do salon people and these get for do everything about Sierra Leone. Not until we will gap after another 5 years, we can't say, okay, we'll look into the constitution back. No. And we delay so much in taking consideration about issues we'll get for do to life. But again, like you say, what goes around comes around. I believe, say, this issue for them be addressed before now, but over 20 years now, then I'm afraid. But temporary thing to panelists them out there for the time this evening. About Ibrahim from APA, also Madam Valnora, anytime we call you, I appreciate that. And Mr. Fatoma also, but no of this conversation. Monday again, we'll get to discuss about this and get the people themselves involved. We'll get for call what's not their own sick. They really understand about what's in they happen. They know, they get knowledge, because this get to affect them. And like, after the election, zombie, because Sierra Leone and the Nokia goes, I believe and Skyly, now this, but it will get to affect you all one way or the other. And like I say again, we must all learn from the past, so as not to repeat those things that have kept us far back for years. Salon people make you learn from the things that don't bring who saw this, so make you learn from what you don't go through. We inside in, I don't get the TRC. From the TRC, I don't get some of them things how they look into. So election not just come, we look into issues over benefits, few political parties them, but their own interest. Because we believe that the interest of Sierra Leone for come first.